I'm here at the Hub Culture Pavilion in Davos. Delighted now to be joined by John Hickenlooper, the governor of Colorado in the United States. Tell me, in terms of the fourth industrial revolution, how does Colorado fit into that?
Well, we've been growing in leaps and bounds over the last decade or so. And I think, the Internet of Things, all the technology that's associated this last decade, we've gotten more than our share. And a lot of it's because we have so many millennials, these young 18 to 35-year-olds. Over the last 6 or 7 years, we've either been first or second in millennial destination.
Why is that?
Well, because I think California's too expensive. That's where they always used to go.
Yeah, my hometown,
Exactly.
San Francisco.
I think that there's just outpriced itself for young people. I think the mountains, in Metro Denver now, we have almost 1,000 miles of bike path. So people can get outside and recreate. And that's created this energy, a startup energy there that if you look at technology startups, the Kauffman Foundation had a study last year that 4 of the top 10 cities in per capita startups are in Colorado. If you look at the startup week we have every year in Denver, there's a startup week. This last year we had 11,000 people involved in the startups.
In terms of what the government does to aid this intersection between startup entrepreneurial culture, how do you see it working best?
Well, we did, when I first came in 5 years ago, we did what we called the BottomUp economic development plan. We went all 64 counties. What do you see as your future? Took all those visions and put them into a state plan that had certain consistent things, right? Get rid of red tape, right? So we've gone through 15,000 regulations now and either eliminated or modified over half of them. Market the state not just as a tourist destination, but as a place to build businesses that's pro-business. So we've worked real hard on that just to say, hey, why just come here for 2 weeks in a beautiful vacation? You can live here year round. We looked at a bunch of things like, how do you celebrate technology? So we put on, every year we have the Colorado Innovation Network. That is all of our research, we have 30 federal research laboratories. We take all the ones in our major universities and put them together in this Colorado Innovation Network and then do a 2-day summit every summer. And that has been wildly successful in terms of taking ideas and patents and inventions and accelerating their transformation into jobs, into businesses.
Tell me about your positioning within the cyber world as well.
Well, we have and always have had a very strong military capability in Colorado Springs, and throughout the state, but mostly in Colorado Springs. NORCOM and NORAD, SpaceCom are all based in Colorado Springs. And some years ago, the military designated SpaceCom as that part of the military that was going to really respond to cybersecurity for the whole military. Now, obviously, the Army and the Navy have their own points of view, but we also have the Air Force Academy, so they have a cyber innovation center right now that they're building. But SpaceCom really does help look at strategically how are we going to respond, how's our military going to respond to cyber. So suddenly we have dozens and dozens, 60 to 80 cyber companies in Colorado Springs already. So we're building a national center for cyber intelligence that will have an education format where mayors, governors, county commissioners can come and in one day really understand cyber, not to write code, but to make decisions and to make resource allocations. We're also going to really focus on the research that is practicable and how do we use that research facility to really train the next generation of cyber workers. And then third, a rapid response center. If a large company or a government, a state government or a local government gets hacked, who helps them? Who gets there in real time and really responds and then warns others about the potential for that attack? Excuse me.
How do you balance all of this growth with concerns about the climate, not putting too big of a footprint on the climate?
Well, we are, always have been focusing on, obviously, renewable energy. It's been a big thing in Colorado. We have a lot of sun. We're one of the top 10 states for sun, top 10 states for wind potential, but we're also doing in conservation. Doing as much as we can in conservation. So we're just about to roll out this spring, our Department of Transportation, smart streetlights, so that they're LEDs, so when you dim them down, they actually use less energy. And they will dim down depending as the length of the day changes over the year. Things like that where we really can say we're using less energy in everything we do. A lot of light rail and transit, so people don't have to get in their cars every time they're going anywhere. Just trying to be, a smart state.
Governor Hickenlooper, thank you very much for stopping by the Hub Culture
You bet,
Pavilion
Edie.
here in Davos, and I'm Edie Lush.